Good morning. It's Stitch Along Friday.
It is indeed.
We have done it.
We have done it. Hopefully it's working. Oh, there we go.
There we are. It apparently is working.
It's working. Yay!
And we can tell right here. So, everyone, and when you come on board, you'll be able to see that we're here, and that is a miracle because 10 minutes ago we had a completely new interface.
That's right. Exactly. Facebook's changed everything yet again.
Like completely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I had to choose
Yes.
one or the other of a kind of streaming, which I had no idea. I just picked one, and then I had to put the stream key in my computer, and then we had to find where the dashboard was, which you did, so we could find the comments.
Absolutely.
And we have it done.
We have it done, and we can see Loretta. Good morning, Loretta. Thank you for posting so we can see that it's worked.
I said to Lisa, this time was the first time. I got a little nervous, but I didn't really think about it being the end of the world.
No. There was no panic in your voice.
No.
So that's good.
I think that allows you to think.
Yes. True. And you always figure it out. So,
Lisa was so good. She says, oh, well, I guess you'll figure it out sometime.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Good morning, everyone. And everyone, welcome back, Lisa, says Jennifer
Thank
Gowan.
you, Jennifer. I had a great last weekend. It was very nice to go up and see my mom in her new place, and because the childhood home has now been sold, and mom moved from, what did she say, 2,700 square foot home into a 1,300 square foot modular home. Mm-hmm. But it's gorgeous.
Well, and don't forget, most of your life you lived there with your sister and your father and her. Yeah. So that was for 4 people.
For 4 people, that's right.
So now she's got a home for 1 person.
Yeah, a home for 1 person. Dad's now in a care place, and we went to see Dad too. So that was very nice.
Nice anniversary for all of you.
Yes.
I'm so glad you went up with your sister because she lives down here in Victoria.
She does live down here in Victoria, and wow, what a drive up. I tell you, the rain came down in sheets. It was...
And the good thing is that, I was indoors, not driving, so I could say how wonderful the rain was.
Yes.
Except you couldn't because you were out in it.
No, luckily I didn't drive. My sister drove, so I left it all up to her, and
You just kind of looked around.
Yep, that's right, exactly. So... But boy, did it rain.
I'll say. We're actually very grateful. I think that BC in general still had forest fires. I doubt whether that more forest fires would be able to start.
No, what's really interesting is I got home on Saturday, and my husband was out in the garden, and so I went out to talk to him, and he's getting the onions out of the ground. But that about 1 inch down, it was dry as a bone.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
And it looks like more people are here besides Loretta now. Linda Bazarski is here. Kimberly Young is here. Katrina Middleton, Jennifer Gowan, Marley,
Ola,
Kathy Bird, Mary Woodruff, Tammy Thompson, Kimberly Young, Gail, Serena, and Marie Anik is here, back here. And so is Donna Granger and Dorothy Wendell. So I went past you all very quickly. Sorry about that, because you came rushing in, and we were just chatting away in our usual self, isolated in our little bubble. Yeah. And it's so good to see you all. Gosh, let's see what's happening. California. And hello from Scenery Hill, Pennsylvania. That's right. I love that name.
Sunny. Tearing down the summer home.
Oh, the tent, right. You have a tent in the backyard. That's kind of cute. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for saying that. Yes, it's a beautiful fall day pretty much everywhere. Today is a really nice day.
It's beautiful. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay inside all day.
It is. I think that's a threat. There is an outdoors and an indoors, and you want to be out there.
I might be sneaking out, a
little early
before 5 o'clock today.
Good day from beautiful Washington, Pennsylvania. She got her Easy Guide needles and loves them. Thanks for the excellent service.
Beautiful needles. I love my Easy Guide needles. They're wonderful.
I agree. Bisous, Yannick. Dorothy says, hello, nice to see you back.
Thank you.
And you too have a wonderful fall day. And they're enjoying tea and stitches.
Yes.
Which is great. Good morning from Berkeley. Thank you. And it's cool and cloudy. Darn it all.
Yeah.
We should talk to some of our sunshine. And how's your hands, Donna? Just checking. Tedra says, good morning from overcast Phoenix.
Wow, that's quite something.
You're
for it
having
to be overcast.
actual rain?
Rain? Wow.
Okay, very nice for you. Rita Weinberg is here. How nice. Jean Morrison, good morning. And Jennifer Davis from Colorado. Milady is here. Lovely. Kimberly Young. And again, Milady. I think we got repeated. Which is quite nice. Oh. Probably a very good greeting. Thank you.
Good. I always like to repeat.
I know.
Yeah.
I always like to repeat.
Yes.
And I just did.
Yeah.
So we are here with Diana Mertesdorf as well, and we're going to just talk a little bit about what have we done this week, because this is still the Victoria Sampler studio, not just, a couple of friends joining you guys.
True.
Vice versa.
True. Well, this week, oh God, you asked me that, and it's like it's always a blur, right?
Probably in your mind it is.
It seems to blur into another. So,
we're all like that, though. But there must be something. You can just think about it for a minute. I'm going to say hello to Deb Summerlot and Beverly Fleming and Jocelyn Maurice. Hello. Well, as far as my week is concerned, still on the cryptocurrency bookkeeping.
Yes.
That has dominated my personal life.
Yes. And I have helped you with it. So, we worked on it together.
Couldn't do it without you, honestly. Yeah. She's so good with numbers, and I can kind of see the sense of things, but the numbers kind of swim in front of my eyes once in a while, and I go, Lisa, help!
I go, well, that goes there, this goes there, that matches that, and so on and so on.
Yeah, so we've actually managed to get through most of the complicated part of it. Now we're actually doing a lot of the work that we have set up a system for.
Yeah.
But what we both realized is would be really good if there was a bookkeeping program that would take all of these elements and put them together.
Absolutely. And just tell us what the end result is. I don't need to know the in-between stuff.
No, we don't need to know how to do. And actually, we're doing in Excel spreadsheets. We're doing the work of a bookkeeping program.
That's right.
In an Excel spreadsheet, which is like, anyway.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out, and
we'll know. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Exactly. I guess what I did today was this week was package up all the orders. So all the orders that we've gotten, except for the ones that came in last night, have now been packaged and sent off.
That's really good, because there was a bit of a backlog.
Right?
There was. Because you had so much to do at a small amount of time. So there was like about a week's delay.
Yeah.
Or maybe 5 days, not much more than that.
Well, yeah, I'd say a week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, some of you may have ordered and your package wouldn't have gotten in the mail until the following week. So we apologize for that. But now everything's caught up.
I caught up except for the ones that are just brand new, which hopefully I'll get done today.
But now we can keep.
Absolutely.
Keep what do you call that? In time.
Yeah. So today's plan is to catch up on the bookkeeping that has been not done.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Victoria Sampler bookkeeping.
Yeah, that's right.
Bookkeeping, I don't know why we do it sometimes. Honestly, I think we're only doing it for the tax man. Honestly.
That's pretty much what it is.
Because if it wasn't for that, I'd just go, what came in and what went out.
Yeah, that's right.
And what kind of expenses did we have. But no, it has to be so complicated. Yeah. Anyway, I would like it very much if we didn't have taxes in the world.
I would like it very much if, half the time was spent doing something creative.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about this week.
That's right.
We talked about yesterday a little bit. I wanted to let you in on our thought process. Well, my thought process anyway, but also Lisa and I are going to be doing this together, is what's going to happen in the new year. And I'm not going to let go too much of an idea, but it was really nice to talk to you all last week when I got some replies regarding using the Facebook as a place to have a membership, a group membership place. I've nixed that idea completely.
No, I think that's not necessarily the place to do the membership.
Nope. And we may not even have a membership necessarily. What we will do, though, is make sure that we don't use Facebook. And it's not because Facebook isn't fun and nice and exciting and stuff. But like today, for instance.
They keep on changing things, so it's not consistent on how we stream or anything like that.
And you can't contact them and get things fixed.
That's right.
And so the thing is that if we were a really big company, they might listen to us, but probably not.
Yeah.
So, and I
They'll
don't.
go, who? I mean, just like you can't post the stitch along
I know.
patterns.
Can't even put the files on.
Yeah.
We suddenly
And
lost our files.
you've asked, so no one's ever gotten back to you going, I don't know why.
No. And also, it's a wonderful group. I love this group. In fact, and both of us show up.
Absolutely.
In fact, I don't think I've ever missed except once. And the reason is because it's so wonderful to be able to contact you all and to make sure that what we do is good for you as stitchers, and also just because we're friends and we're becoming more and more connected through our needlework. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to keep doing the Facebook group no matter what.
Exactly. I just had a thought though. Now that they've changed everything else, you might be able to post the patterns again.
Oh, yeah. Check that out. Smart girl. Yeah, because all they changed so far was the live streaming software. So we'll see if they put the files back. That would be cool.
That would be really interesting.
Good. Anyway, so we're probably going to, and this is what my ideas are now, and they've been coalescing all along. We'll probably be making online retreats. And
yes.
I guess we'll call them that, but probably more like workshops.
Yes.
Creative workshops based on patterns, but where people can become more and more creative.
Yeah.
Something in the same line as what we're doing in our Facebook group, which has a lot to do with your creativity as well as mine. And all we're there to do is to facilitate. So we're really excited. At least I'm really excited. Yeah. Finally got my mojo.
Your idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And now my thoughts and creativeness and excitement are really going.
Yes.
And honestly,
I haven't quite caught up to that
no,
yet.
Yes.
Because I'm still trying to finish off everything else. So yeah.
But the other thing about the new way to go, we had to decide, or I had to decide, well, how much energy do I have? How much time do we have? How can we afford this? All this stuff. But I'm thinking that there are things that are more important than whether we can afford it. And we're going to try out doing workshops online with you in a way that allows you to also be there and also hold the stage, not just us.
Absolutely.
So it'll probably be a Zoom-like or webinar-like affair. And we've talked about this before. This is not new. It's just I personally had to change.
Yeah.
Because we've had a certain business up until now, and I didn't know what I could do with all that business and still have something to do that is exciting and wonderful. So I am now seeing if anybody said anything.
Well, Norma came on.
Let's see. Okay, my hand is almost back to normal. Yay, Donna.
Good.
That is really good to hear. Of course, I'm very selfish about that. Kimberly Young is here. And I already said that. Sorry.
Yes.
And
Jocelyn
and Deb Saberlot, which always nice to see you. Vicki Fisher is here, right? Beautiful morning in El Paso, I think she said. Hang on.
Yes.
Yes, good. And Pat Henke is there. Oh, things keep flipping. Patricia Lewis, Norma Farrow. Yes, you're here. That's wonderful. Becky Clegg is here. And Loretta says she loves the idea.
Yeah,
Thank you, Loretta. That's great to hear. Patricia Lewis says may be fun. Oh, they will be fun.
They will be fun. I mean, you'll have Thea and I. How can they not be fun?
Well, it's going to be less.
Nothing like patting myself on the back.
It's going to be less about you and me and more about them.
That's true.
Anyway, that's funny. Sue Donnelly, hello, love you too. You're not doing your PT this morning. I'm really glad I contacted you last week because I missed you. So I'm really glad to see your face. Deborah Brandt, hello. Oh, is that a hello? Or is that a patting you on the back again?
Patting, I think so. I think that's what it was, yes.
Hi, Deborah. Good to see you. So it looks like we have pretty much talked about what we're going to do. And all of these workshops, we'll find a way to connect with you really well and easily.
Yes.
That's one of the hard things for most people is they go, oh, Zoom? I don't know how to work Zoom.
I don't know how to work Zoom either.
She doesn't.
So,
And I barely do. So, but I have found a way to do this that I think is going to be easy enough for all of you. And that all you have to do is click on a link and join us that way. And it's going to be our first workshop is going to be a beta testing workshop.
Yeah.
So it won't be nearly as expensive, and it will also be limited in
the members.
We're not going to be able to handle anybody who wants to come. So when I announce it, when I send out an email to all of you, or announce it right here, I think we'll announce it right here.
Probably, yes. And give all of you the first chance.
Correct. And so when I announce it, it will be available through our website. So you'll be able to go there and sign up for the workshop, just like you do for any of our courses. So this is going to be amazing and awesome, and I'm really thrilled to get some kind of an idea so that we can continue our Victoria Sampler in a completely different way.
In a different way, absolutely.
Yes.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Deborah Brandt loves the idea of online workshops. Wonderful. Loretta says Zooms are fun. Diane likes it. Hello, Viv Starr.
Viv, hi, Viv.
I haven't seen you for a while. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it looks like there is a... Pat says, I need to learn Zoom.
Yeah.
And you know, it's actually one of the things that's going to be part of the workshop is to give you a little rundown on where to go as far as how to click things. And then you can write those things down or make a picture yourself so you can use them for the next time. I think we'll do a little introductory video that shows you how to use the Zoom
I think that's a great idea.
Because I know we're all a little bit, my doctor's going to Zoom me. Okay, so, or any other way that they've got, the medical way has a different collection of connections. And it really just baffles ordinary people. Well, what do I click on? And where's the, do I have any sound? That kind of thing. So we're hoping that will be easy. And like Patricia says, Zoom is the easiest for users, so it should be good. Thank you, thank you. Wanda Sutkowi, you're here.
Good morning, Wanda.
It sounds like you're not working this morning at your Thrifties. Aw, I'm really glad that you got that job. That's so nice. Patricia says, think of it as turning on a TV channel. Yeah, but you're in it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like a TV channel where it's over there somewhere.
Well, where you're watching somebody else,
No, you're in it. You're being watched also. It's been a while. Karen Krause, you're here.
Hi, Karen.
Oh, this is great. Look at how all of my familiar people. And let me see, who else is here? Jennifer Chiang is here. Sorry, you know what?
It is popping. Yeah.
The comment section of our view of the Facebook group stream does not allow me to go back and leave it there. It just, every time a new person pops up, the whole thing goes to the bottom. And so I'm having a bit of a hard time catching up. So we may not notice everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but we'll try. Let's see, Jennifer, ladies, happy Friday. Thank you. Aww. Zoom is the best, says Beverly Fleming. Oh my goodness. And EGA meetings, I'm so glad that, you know, many of you have already gotten an idea about Zoom. So as you'll note, this will be a slightly different format from the regular Zoom meetings because it's going through yet another platform. But you'll find that it's very similar on your end. Yeah. Which will be good. We tried it out the other day.
We did, except for I have no camera or speakers, so I couldn't hear or see anything.
You could see.
I could see you.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see me.
No, because you weren't part of it, because you didn't have a camera.
I didn't have a camera.
That's true. All you need is a camera and some speaker.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the webcams that you can get have a speaker in them or have the ability to hear things through them. But generally your computer, whatever computer you have, like if it's a laptop, it's got a speaker.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Yes.
And so and also our phones have speakers. So I don't think it's too bad except for desktop.
Yeah.
And I find desktop is my favorite place to work.
It is.
I like it. Anyway, so that's the exciting thing. Yeah. Marcy Schmidt's here. Yay. Barbara Lutomertska is here. Good to see you. And so is Joy Skripnik. Great. So you guys have come a little later. We're talking about what we're going to be doing in the new year. And nothing like this will be done before the end of the year.
Yes.
It will be January at the earliest, but we will announce things ahead of time and possibly sign up ahead of time.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody who comes late, they'll have to go back and replay.
And re-listen.
Re-listen. What's the stitch of the week? Because it's stitching time.
Stitch of the week this week is, what are we here? It is the pulled reverse wave.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The reverse wave or the wave. We've decided to also look at some samples of waves because
Yes.
I didn't do too many
I don't
reverse
think it's
waves.
on that one, is it?
Yeah, this is it right here.
Oh, it is too. Sorry.
That's okay. So the reverse wave is the white work around the outside. It's a pulled stitch that just looks awesome when it's done. Now, as you can see, some of the holes are a little bit bigger than others. And of course, they're consistently big all the way across. But it's hard to see because the darkness is coming from behind this linen. So if I do this, oh, sorry for the shaking. Here we go. That's better with 2 hands. So you're supposed to make those holes equal. And I tried, but didn't exactly make it. So that's okay.
I don't know if they're equal on this one either.
Now see how they're supposed to be equal? Little holes on the side and a big hole in the
Big
middle.
hole in the middle. I don't know if that's the case for this one.
If you look at the big holes going down the center of this band, that's the way they should look. And then there's tiny little holes on either side. So what happens with a pulled work stitch is it isn't the stitches, it's what's left when the stitches are done. So in other words, you're looking for holes.
Yeah.
You're looking for shifting of the linen threads so that you can see it, and it's kind of like a lacy effect. We have another one, don't we?
I do. I've got it here, and you can see it around the outside. Let's see if I can do it that way.
And this one actually is backed by a kind of creamy colored fabric.
It is, yes. Yeah, it would be better if it was a little bit darker, I think.
I love this wall hanging.
Me too.
And we've shown this before, and I think it has three of the
level 4s.
Level 4. It's from level 4, number 6 through number 10. They're all non-Christmas colors. So she's put 3 of them together in one wall hanging. I love it. Matching the greens that were used. And this lovely little pattern of kind of a green with a dark background. I just love it.
Yeah,
and
I love that fabric, actually.
The back looks as exquisite as the front. And of course, you use the off-white because it's nice in the back and it's a good backing, but it also backs really well for the front.
Definitely, the color doesn't show through.
And it also isn't dark, so that the front otherwise would darken.
Yeah,
like
kind of gray out.
Exactly. So when you're doing your finishing and you're using fabrics and it's directly behind something that's got holes in it, or even if it doesn't have holes in it, watch and see how the fabric color changes. Have you noticed that?
Yes. Yeah.
Over the years?
Yes, I have, and that's why quite often I'll only put colored fabric behind the open area, not behind the whole thing.
Yes, exactly, because the linen itself has little tiny holes, of course. And so if you see a green in those tiny holes, then the whole linen, instead of being an off-white, will be an off-white shaded to green or shaded darker. And very often it makes the linen look a little grayer than it needs to.
Almost dirty sometimes.
Yeah, I found that out right at the very beginning. I thought, that's not the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
And then we discovered that we could actually frame things and have some cutouts with different colored mat board in behind.
Yeah,
so
that's inset to the mat, the one that's stretched on.
Exactly. So that's kind of fun too. Here we go. I'm just going to check here. Kelowna, that's right. Marcy Schmidt made it today. Beautiful day here. We love fall too.
Absolutely.
My birth name. Well, what do you call that? The birth name that you have. What's that called? My father and mother's name that they gave to me. Yeah. My last name. Yeah. Means Herbst. It means autumn. Dutch. Dutch for autumn. I don't know why I went off with that. Yeah. Sorry. It's so stupid. Beverly Fleming says, I've been using Zoom for all 18 months. Yeah, good for you. Dorothy says, I try to get my holes equal and it just doesn't happen. No. I get close and that's it. I've pondered about taking them out and redoing, but I figure I better leave well enough alone.
Absolutely.
That's all we try to do.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I am not successful either. So no worries. The main thing is that you have if you practice a lot, if you practice your stitching a lot, you'll get a consistent
Tension.
that you wouldn't otherwise have. So if you're a beginner, getting that tension right isn't a matter of trying.
Yeah,
it's a matter of
practice.
Constantly continuing to stitch, and you just
Yeah.
get better and better and better at it automatically. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. Jennifer Gowan says, "Given name." Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
My given name was Hearst. Exactly. Oh shoot. So we have some models that actually have that stitch in them.
Exactly. And I think it's this is Autumn Romance. Ouch. And I think it's right there.
Yes, that's the same stitch. And Autumn Romance is not really autumny colors for most people.
Not this one, no. But you've got it in 2 color choices. You can do it with the pistachio overdyed,
which is this one.
But there, you can also do it in teak, which is more of the rust and red colors.
Exactly. And that color actually does look more like the traditional colors of autumn.
This is early autumn.
Well, actually, this is because was the color that I loved at the time. I just liked it, and I thought, well, why couldn't this be autumn too?
Yeah, it's actually early autumn because if you look outside, it's still quite green outside.
Kind of is, yeah. So that's the color right there, as you can see, the color of pistachio. It's probably changed a lot now, though.
Oh, I'm sure it probably has, because that's, what, 25 years ago you did that one?
Yes, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Thank you, Jennifer Gowan.
Excuse me. And on this one, I'm just trying to find where it is. We did.
I think it was up here, wasn't it?
Was it up there?
That is a wave stitch.
It is a wave stitch. It's not the same one, no.
Well,
but anyway.
It's not reverse, but it is a wave.
But it is a wave.
Which is this one right here that goes along here like that. So it's a very short little thing, but it does actually do half of what the wave stitch does. And as everyone has seen before, this is the Heirloom Anniversary Sampler. Take my hand and walk with me. The best in life is yet to be. That phrase has always really tugged at my heart. It's the kind of thing that, you don't really think about too much, that you're going to be living and working with this person and that you want to do that all your life. It's a wonderful expression of your devotion to each other. And there is the bottom, which I love. And then, of course, everyone, that's the top. That's 20-year anniversary. I think Richard and I have gotten through that already, haven't we? 1999? Yeah, I guess we have. We don't celebrate anniversaries. I don't know. Many people do, but we don't because we didn't actually get married.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the city hall or anything like that.
No.
So for us, it's a question of how long we've been together, how long we've been able to stand one another.
Yes. I'm going to show this because I got to sneeze again.
Lisa's got this hay fever that won't quit. No. Honestly, yesterday, poor thing. So she's going to go sneeze somewhere back in the office. And apparently I'm showing this one right here, I think, is the wave stitch again. And I'm so glad that we could find it in this Autumn Garden Sampler. The Autumn Garden Sampler has some wonderful pieces in it, some little chickens, which you'll see a little later, and some pumpkins. And look at the little girl with her rake. And there is supposed to be a crow. These are crows, okay? They are black.
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
What's really good about getting up is the sneeze goes away.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So you didn't even have to sneeze.
I didn't even sneeze, no.
Excellent. So every time you want to sneeze,
I'll just walk away.
You'll just walk away. Can we put that over there for you?
I can, yeah.
Oh, thank you. So let me see. I think there was another one here. No, that none of these actually have that same stitch.
This one did, didn't it?
But that one did, exactly. And I'm going to show these ones because they're more autumny, the ones that I'm going to show. Mm-hmm. So is that the one?
I think it's under that.
Ah, yes. I think this is the reverse wave stitch not pulled. And where my finger is pointing, let's see if I can hold it steady. There, right there. So it's underneath the vine. I think that there's also a reverse wave stitch there. This is
the lilac
sampler and made into a
or needle roll.
Needle roll, thank you. And then, of course, there's part of it is also made into
The chatelaine.
We call this a chatelaine. It's a simple chatelaine, very elegant, very simple, not complicated. But once you learn how to do this stitch, you'll have to do it over and over and over because it's really long.
Yes, you'll get to know that stitch quite well.
I remember doing this and I thought, okay, will this ever end?
Yeah.
And not only is it on one side, it's also on the other side. Anyway, I like the bottoms on both because the bottom of this one is the Bargello heart and the bottom of this one is the heart hanger heart. So, what's next, Isakins?
What's next is, well, I think that's it for the reversed waves.
Let's see what people are saying because I have a feeling that we're now doing another thing entirely. There we go.
We are, but I think we saw Karen's, and then Sandy says, "Good Friday morning. Sorry she's late, but she had an appointment she needed to keep."
Oh, well, that's allowed. I'm so glad you made it here, Sandy. The Stitch Along Fridays for us are a joy and happiness, but sometimes we kind of lose track of the fact that you are all here at the same time as we are. Like for us, it's been kind of a little bit part of our work.
Yes.
You know, we know Friday mornings we're here for you.
That's how I start my work day.
Yeah. But from your perspective, you interrupt your day.
Yes.
And you make sure that there's time for you to come and join us here. And I can't tell you how amazed I am that every Friday so far, we have had such lovely people that come here as you.
And join us, and
so you become familiar. Your names are familiar. We get to know you a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to starting the workshops in the new year because then we'll get to
actually see faces,
and we'll get to know each other a lot better. It won't be nearly this one-way traffic that we have here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to set up a nice table in the middle, I think. So
I think so.
We can do some work on it.
Yeah. Did you notice how she said work like this? Do you know what that is?
That's a rotary cutter. Sorry. This is an iron, and this is a rotary cutter. So
what's this?
An iron.
That's right. It goes in circles. That's right. Oh, that's so cute. Loretta says she watches during her lunch.
Good.
So you're not totally interrupted. You're eating your lunch with us. That's so nice. And Brenda Lichtmeyer is here. Yay! And Dorothy loves coming here. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Highlight of Friday mornings. Thank you.
And Sandy says, it sounds like fun. Yes, you'll have to watch the replay of the beginning. We had talked about what some of the creative workshops that I want to get set up in the new year.
Yes.
Finally started to find a way to see myself next year, still part of the stitching community, just changing the Victoria Sampler orientation just a little bit. Well, actually a lot.
Yeah. Yes, a lot.
But from our point of view, just so you know, we are grateful that we don't have to make accessory packs anymore.
Yes.
We absolutely are thrilled. Even though I know it's inconvenient for you guys, I'm going to show you in the workshop so many different ways that you're going to have fun not using the threads that are in our patterns. So you can get a pattern and we'll show you how to make sure that you are able to get whatever threads you want.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is going to be like creativity. What did I say? Creativity. If you say it twice, it makes it a word. Anyway, we're going to help you with all those things. So, and that basically means that all of that work that we used to do, we won't be doing anymore, though, that rote work. We're going to have a lot more fun on our end, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, I wanted to show some autumn samplers. Kind of appropriate this time of the year.
Yeah.
This one in particular, because it really is, it's sort of the end of the summer.
A harvest.
Yeah, it's like a harvest thing. And I remember stitching this and making this.
I think you taught it, didn't you, for Sue?
Sue, I think so, Sue. This was stitched at Sturbridge Farm. Sturbridge, I believe. Because I recognize the barn. I got pictures of the old Sturbridge village. And kind of put my own little spin on everything. And of course, I remember also that there were so many different crops that they were growing. And look at the old-fashioned little people in there. They are weeding and they're gathering up all of the carrots. There's the carrots and there's, I don't know, these must be cabbages. And there's some strawberries out of season. Pink. And then there's pumpkins, and what are these? Radishes, I think. So everyone knows the hands to work, hearts to God phrase. And here it is in a small, delicate, miniature sampler. So this one is so fun, and it often gets overlooked. So I was kind of
it does. I
wanted to show
enjoyed
it to you.
finishing this one with the different colored fabric around. It didn't really take much fabric.
Right?
Yeah.
The colors are just phenomenal, and they really set off the entire piece.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the way this turned out as a belt pull.
Yeah, me too.
And don't forget, you don't have to have specific belt pull hardware. We're going to also creatively create our own belt pull hardware. There's so many things we can do. Then there is love is a fruit in season at all times, within reach of every hand. This is the time when the fruit starts coming off the trees.
Yes.
Like the peaches have already sort of come.
The peaches have come. It would mostly be apples and pears and plums and all that kind of stuff.
So this is called?
This one is Oldfield Orchard.
Yes, because there is an actual orchard out here on Oldfield Road, and I don't think it's called Oldfield Orchards, but I really like it anyway.
And you know what? I drove past there a little while ago. You know the little stand they had in front?
Yes.
It's gone. It's been torn down.
Well, this is the thing. I think this is my memory speaking here. But there's apple trees up near the imaginary house. Then there's a picket fence, and it's got a gate in it, so you can go into the orchard. Love is a fruit in season at all times, and of course you can see the peaches, and even there is a stand of raspberry and or probably loganberry, because they grow really tall. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds of trees. And then down below, look at all the fruit pies you can buy at the roadside stand, which has now been torn down.
Yeah.
Anyway, our roadside stand still stands. So.
And they used to make really good pies there. I remember getting the fruit pies from there. They were quite good.
Yeah, so this was a real thing that has turned into one of our small farm samplers. Orchard and, Oldfield Orchard.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
You already said it.
Yes.
You know. And I have one more. No, actually two more. This one is one of the seasonal welcome samplers?
Just bell pulls, I think they were called.
Season bell pulls?
Yeah, four season bell pulls.
Gosh, I can't remember the names of things anymore.
Well,
but this one was made into autumn.
Yeah.
Because I used a darker fabric.
Yes.
I used a darker overdye all the way around, as you can see, and the beads match the overdye. And this is actually one pattern that has given you a colorway for spring, summer, fall, and winter. And this one is the fall one. You can put it on any material, but I chose to have this on, I think this is a dirty linen.
I think that is dirty linen, yes.
Yes, very dirty. Were those Stellar Jays in the Oldfield sampler? Let's see.
Stellar Jays in Oldfield? They could be Stellar Jays.
I'm going to say yes, but they could be any. There are some birds, and they do look blue, so they could be Stellar Jays. And particularly around here, that's what we have here.
Absolutely.
So good question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anita.
We don't have blue jays or anything else, just the stellars.
Yeah, exactly.
And they only come out this time of year.
What?
The stellars.
The Stellars, yes. They like coming out in the fall. For some reason, they're looking for seeds, and I think that's what they love. Aw, Sandy says that it's so enjoyable to spend an hour with us girls. Aw. Karen Krause, you're a delightful interruption.
Thank you.
Not just an interruption. Thanks very much. Gail says, Karen. I have an alarm clock set on my phone for every Friday. We have an alarm too on our phone.
Yes.
But I can't imagine doing that to join us. I guess we're still in shock that people actually want to come and talk to us. Thank you. You two have kept me sane during COVID isolation. Thank you so much. Wanda says, and I think that's to do with what's going to happen in the future, I believe, but I could be wrong. Sorry, it's been a while since I read everything, and I can't remember what we talked about. Sue says, yes, at a Sturbridge Stitcher's Hideaway. There. So that was about Hands to Work, Hearts to God. What's that one called?
Is
it called Hands to Work?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Sue says, I spy a frog on the Sturbridge sampler. Okay, we'll have to have a look.
Yes, you did.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Sue, very good eye.
Yeah, because it's teeny.
It's a teeny, teeny, weeny little frog right there. I think I put that in for your sake.
Yeah.
You love that whole frog thing. And you've had frogs in your classroom many times. Loretta says, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. I have so much stitching to display. I rotate much of it seasonally, says Donna. The granddaughter came over on the weekend and helped me put away summer and bring out autumn.
Oh, very nice.
What a nice idea. And really, to spend it with your granddaughter as well, it's kind of a
Very nice.
nice thing to be able to do in common, and you get a whole change of mood in your household. Good idea. Does anybody else do that? Put away different seasons? Like, do you have 4 seasons in your house? Because we have everything out.
I've got everything out.
But I can imagine changing things around. The problem is that the sizes of the pieces are different, so I might end up having holes where I don't want to have holes, or the it would be difficult. It would be a challenge, I think. You'd have to really do a lot of arranging, wouldn't you? And particularly if you do a new piece that year, it's going to be a different shape and size. I don't know how you do it.
And the question I have is, do you hang everything back in the same place that you had it last year at this time? Or do they go in different places?
I think it sounds to me like if you've got your granddaughter helping you, Donna, you would probably you'll be listening to her and she'd be helping you, and you can put them anywhere you want. That's so cute. Let's see. Dorothy Wendell says, I love the books you've introduced here. If you have any other suggestions, please share them. Yes, Dorothy, I definitely will, because I do have a big library of books.
Absolutely.
I don't think I have any new ones here, but I was going to read out of the Subversive Stitch today. And I'm just wondering if that's, because the Subversive Stitch is like, it's really feminist kind of talk, and I'm not sure that I'm up for that today. Honestly, I mean, I believe in it and everything, but it can get a little bit negative sometimes.
Yes.
You know, if you're promoting feminism, then through stitching, then you have something that says that other kind of stitching is not so good, or something. It's a slant on stitching. I'm not into today, so hopefully I'll be able to do something next week. But I'll show you the beautiful picture, another beautiful painting with the story that goes with it. Jeanette says she changes every season, so does Wanda.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pudding. Awesome. Most of the stuff is 3-dimensional.
Okay.
Oh, and it's put on shelves. The kids get to put them where they want. Oh, that is so nice. I'd never thought of that. Of course, if they're 3-dimensional. You know where all my 3-dimensional stuff is? In drawers, in the back.
Yeah, in the boxes.
In the back.
Yeah, in the back studio.
In the back studio. That's too bad. I should bring them out and let them just, be enjoyed by all and sundry.
True, but I don't know where you would put all of them, because you've got like 14 different huge drawers that you have all this stuff in. So I don't know how you could.
Well, I could bring out like 1 or 2 pieces and bring them out and put them upstairs.
And you could do it just seasonally too.
In my home.
Yes.
And I don't do it in my home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we do have a few things back behind us, but...
Well, maybe that's what we should do. We should do an autumn thing behind us. Mm-hmm. I think that's what we'll do.
Well, you've got Scary Stitches right behind you there.
I do indeed. I have Scary Stitches, and I also have Stitching Witches, which are basically partners of each other. Yeah. This one, as you all know, because this has become a real favorite, I'm going to just get up a little closer. Yeah. This one is Stitching Witches.
Yes.
And that's the other one that I had. And of course, this is the one that is getting ready for Halloween, which is not really that far away now. It's the 24th.
I know.
Of September.
Yeah, of September. Mm-hmm.
So this should possibly inspire you to get out some of your Halloween stitching so you are in time for Halloween. Most of us do our stitching and or our displaying at just a little before the season, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe not the displaying. Maybe the displaying happens during the season. Like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Okay, here's a question I'd like to know. Do you stitch ahead of time, like to get ready for October the 31st? Do you stitch in July so that you can get something ready for Halloween? And this is one way people do it. So you'd have to stitch maybe 3 months ahead or 2 months ahead, right? To get something ready for the season. Or Do you have seasonal affective disorder? No, seasonal stitching disorder, I think is what Sue calls it. And you can't stitch a Halloween thing when it's still summer. So which of the two? You stitch ahead?
No.
You don't stitch ahead.
I don't stitch ahead. I kind of stitch according to the season. Yeah.
Yeah, so does Sue Donnelly. So what's your favorite one? I'd love to hear. Jennifer says, I do a lot of seasonal stitching. Yes, during the season or before, like a couple of months before. Because I've always had to stitch ahead.
Yes.
And by the way, when I was singing in a choir, we always had to practice ahead.
Yes.
So the Christmas carols, we were singing them in September to get practice before, the season. So I was kind of used to that feeling. And then when we set up our production schedule, I was stitching 6 months ahead.
You were, absolutely.
So I was in July, I was stitching Christmas. And then in the fall, I would be stitching more like floral, spring-like things.
Yes.
And I think that I became kind of muddled in the head because of it. But anyway. Loretta says before most of the time, unless I'm stitching a gift for someone. Yes, of course. That totally makes sense. Marcy Schmidt stitches during the season for the next year. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So you are stitching ahead, just a whole year ahead.
Yeah.
But during the same season.
During the same season.
And I was just wondering, Loretta, before most of the time, would you prefer to stitch seasonally in the season? That's more to the point. Deborah Brandt stitches ahead. Gail does too. I just stitch whatever appeals whenever it appeals, says Donna.
Yeah.
Christmas ornaments are starting in January. You probably because you wanted to have had them during Christmas. Nancy does a month ahead, which is a different.
Okay.
And Deborah Brandt's also ahead. Gail says, I'd like to stitch ahead. Who else? I stitch Christmas all year long, says Brenda Lichlier. And that's really, Christmas is one of those seasons. If you celebrate Christmas, definitely appeals to be able to stitch during the summer or spring or whenever. Wanda stitches ahead. Sylvie says, oh my, no, nothing ahead of time, but in the moment. Yes, Sylvie, that's a really good answer. It makes total sense to me. Jennifer says, I try to stitch ahead of the season so I can display. I'm currently working on a Christmas piece, she said. Also, I understand. I think that's all. Yes, I put out the season. You put out the season. You display them in your home, it looks like, Pat Hinkie. And Viv says she changes seasonally. Oh, really interesting. I put out for the season. Well, we're going to have to change this background.
Well, exactly. Sorry, but I brought that out because speaking of stitching in the season.
Well, this is kind of the season.
That's right. And we still have accessory packs for this.
But is it? Oh, do we?
Yeah.
We have accessory pack for this one?
Yeah. Scary Stitches.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I think there's still a few accessory packs available.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Because we did have quite a few made at one point. Let's see if we can open this. This needs a little bit of WD-40.
That's it.
And then don't forget, there's also the little booklet inside. And I put my name on the back, but you can do, of course, your name. And inside, there are all the names of the really strange names for Halloween stitches. The repulsive roads and the goblin stitch and the Satan stitch. There's all sorts of cool stitches in here.
And then you got the cute little pumpkin scissor fob.
Yeah, made out of bullion knots. Come on, you guys, you can do it.
But the back is a little spider web.
Fabric.
And then you got the name tag.
It's all in this pattern, which I'm so glad you mentioned that we still have the accessory packs for this, because a lot of the overdyes in here, I think, are also
in that as well.
They have to be in this one, aren't they? Let's just double check. No, not this bright colored.
Oh, not the harvest grape.
See the bright colored
No, there's no harvest grape in that.
See the bright colored sawtooth, everyone? You'll see that color is actually reflected in this sampler. But the overdye is not in there. So I'm surprised, actually. I thought I would have used the same fabric, same things. Those are our autumn things this week. We'll have more autumn things.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank you for replying.
We
I'm
might need
really
an
inspired.
autumn pincushion.
She said, looking at me. You told me I needed to make a Christmas pin
And
cushion.
that too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all do a pin cushion together during one of our
Good. Yeah.
upcoming retreats, our
That would
workshops.
be a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Karen says, I stitch Christmas ornaments for the grandkids beginning in August to get it done. Otherwise, I usually stitch seasonally during the season. Loretta says, no, I'm kind of like Donna, but I stitch whatever appeals to me.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, Mary, thank you. Yes, it was wonderful to teach scary stitches as well. I just really enjoyed that. Everybody had such a good time.
We did. Yes.
Well, it looks to me like we are through showing all of our models. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have any models more that we can
I
show?
don't think so.
We're getting to all of the autumny Halloween things that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're showing them, we'll also have to show them behind us because it really doesn't make any sense to show you all our autumn things if they're not displayed behind us. So now I'm getting inspired.
We're going to have to change the setup behind us.
Exactly. So let's see if I can find a really nice, because I haven't found it ahead of time. I did love this print.
Me too.
This print is one of my all-time favorites in the book called In Praise of the Needlewoman. Sorry, I have to see my monitor here. There we go. And notice there is only, I think there is a lady who has a dark sweater kind of a coat thing on, and she's sitting behind the table. I think she's got some needlework there. And then on the other side, someone is also needleworking. Am I wrong? Nope, she's not needleworking. So there's just a little basket in the middle, and that shows that this was a womanly pursuit. It was something that ladies love to do in the garden.
Yes.
But not everybody there is working. It looks like just the two ladies sitting at the table right there.
So everyone else has interrupted their nice quiet time.
I think so. Looks to me like, look at all those very dressed up men and women that are standing behind them. The only two comfortable people are the stitchers.
Yes.
As far as I can see. I'm going to read you a little bit about it. This large work by the French painter, I'm going to take off my glasses so I can see. Frédéric Bazille has the look of a well-staged photograph. He has grouped his family members in a beautiful setting on a large stone terrace overlooking the countryside with a few partially hidden buildings dotting the landscape. Most of the subjects make eye contact with the viewer, but they appear quite stiff and uncomfortable in their roles as models. Bazille's parents sit in the left foreground, and they were wealthy art patrons from the south of France. They enabled their son not only to become an artist, but also to support some of his fellow painters. Madame Bazille wears a magnificent shawl of black lace, and his father is impeccably garbed as a wealthy man of the day, as he gazes abstractly into the landscape. I love these descriptions. Bazille's brother Marc perches on a low wall of the terrace. In front of him is his wife Suzanne, and to her left a cousin. Now, while no one is actually sewing in this portrait, there is on the table a small sewing basket with some threads arranged as if Therese is choosing which one to use. Once again, this is a ubiquitous reference to the well-bred, accomplished woman of the 19th century. Bazille may have also employed this device to bring some more color into the painting. That makes sense. Possibly Therese chose to bring along her needlework to pass the time during the hours of posing for this painting. Can you believe that? Anyway, this painting is at once a landscape, a portrait, and a still life. Although it is painted in the realistic style, there's also some hints of impressionistic technique in the light glinting off Miss Bazille's gown. I wouldn't have noticed that. It does look a little bit impressionistic. But the Impressionists literally tried to create an impression of something, and this is very
detailed.
Detailed, exactly. So even though this is not so much about stitching, it is just a gorgeous painting to me, and I love the fact that there is the detail, a little bit of needlework right in the middle. And this book, as you all know, is In Praise of the Needlewoman. By the way, the picture on the front of In Praise of the Needlewoman, she is really looking good, isn't she? Look at her. She's like...
She's stretching after hunched over her big canvas there.
Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
she's also a little bit more, I don't know, suggestive of something. She looks like she's gonna maybe go to bed or something. I don't know. She's looking pretty relaxed there.
Yeah.
Maybe she's looking at her lover. Who knows?
Could be.
And then
He could possibly asking what's for dinner.
that would be really appropriate. And here are some other stitchers that you can see on the back. I love these girls. They're all doing their stitching in their own ways. But the one that's looking away from her stitching is looking pretty angry. So she's maybe the one that's being asked to make dinner. Are you kidding? This one.
I'm busy.
Can't you see I'm busy? That's lovely. Okay, well, I think we're pretty much done. I can't believe how fast that went.
I know.
Whoa.
It goes by very fast.
Thank you all for, coming and saying hello. Let's see. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Okay, so everybody has had their say, and thank you so much for replying. Because I find seasonal stitching makes sense to me inside here, but I've had to stitch ahead so often for so many years.
Just for business wise.
I can actually create the environment in my own head now.
Yeah.
If you asked me to stitch a February piece, I would get right into what it feels like to be fed. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking maybe I'll be thinking about love and, things like that. So my head kind of can accommodate it. But if I was stitching just for the sake of enhancing my mood and becoming more meditative, I'd probably want to stay in the season. I mean, the seasons, they're very delightful in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. And I know I really enjoy the fact that fall has come.
Yep, me
Fall
too.
is here.
I'm stitching Pumpkin Patch Farm right now.
Are you?
Yes.
That's so exciting.
It's very.
Have you started?
I started it last year, so I've just
you're continuing.
Put it back in the rotation, and
what else are you stitching in your rotation?
Let's see, what else do I have on the racks right now? I have the Bumblebee pincushion, which is done, except for I have to attach 3 charms to the needle book.
Oh my, you haven't, oh no, I couldn't stand it.
And so then I have the pumpkin patch, and let's see, I have the Easter egg hunt.
Okay, yeah, you can't be stitching on that.
No, and then I have Christmas Village on another rack.
So that'll come in a little while.
Yeah.
You'll be
Oh,
stitching
and
on
I do have a Grateful Heart put on the rack too, but I haven't actually started stitching it.
Well, that one though, you can stitch anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
But I got right into Pumpkin Patch.
Getting all those colors.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I've got your free pattern for the week, and next week will be a new pattern, and as you can imagine, October pattern. So there will be something there for those of you who enjoy October for all of the seasonal things that happen. Here in Canada, it's Thanksgiving and Halloween.
Yes.
So we'll probably just go for a Halloween kind of theme rather than, because I kind of did with this week's, I kind of went to the harvest theme, even though it was a harvest theme that had more to do with the summery feel of a fair.
Yeah.
And here is the last part of September, part 4, and I hope that you're going to enjoy stitching this. There's a little hint of autumn coming in here. There's the harvest and all that, and then of course
the sunflowers.
Yes.
And
in October will be more pumpkin-y.
Yep.
Uh-oh, I'm giving something away.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Oh, there's a question. I better answer it. Thank you, Karen. It's so good to have you here as well. I loved having you in my classes when I was back there. When I was at your neck of the woods. Yes, and when she came here, that's right. Thea, how long have you been designing, and what was your motivation to begin doing that? Your designs are just amazing. Dorothy, it's a long story, so I'll make it really short. Thank you for asking. I've been designing I think I started in 1989 is when I started. And the impetus for starting to design back then, I have no clue. I just remember feeling a bit at a loss because my children were growing up and they didn't need me as much. And I'd been stitching already, but I thought, oh, I know what the impetus was. That's right. I showed my mother-in-law at the time a piece I had done of some other designer, not myself, but another designer. And she said, "Oh, that's really nice. Did you design it yourself, or did you,
Yes, create it yourself.
create it yourself?" No, I said, you get these patterns. I showed her the pattern. She says, "Oh, well, if it's just a pattern, then, what's the good in that?" Or something like that. And she says, "Tell me when you've done your own design." I was so mad.
Because she didn't realize how much work actually
it
goes
takes.
into it.
Exactly.
Yes.
She was denigrating me, and I thought, okay, that's a typical thing for her to do. But in the meantime, I got that mad that I thought, well, why couldn't I? And so instead of coming out of love,
you did it to prove a point.
I did it so I could show her.
Yeah.
And that motivation lasted only about 3 or 4 days. Trust me, beyond that, I really didn't need that motivation. I started to really see the opportunity, the possibilities, and the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it never occurred to me before that I could also design something that I would stitch. And that just never wasn't in my head. And then when I started to realize that I could do it myself, I thought, oh. And I had no idea what I could do, how much of it I could do, no idea I would turn into somebody that actually published things and had other people stitch things. Oh, it was so exciting. Oh, that whole journey was beautiful. But that moment, I'll never forget that moment, because that was a good incentive. That's right, Sue Donnelly, ex-mother-in-law now. Gail, I hope you all have a good weekend as well. Have a beautiful September and the last week of September.
The last week of September, hard to believe already.
Yeah, because next week it'll be
next Friday is October 1st.
That's right, and that's Kathy Jean's birthday.
Right.
Yeah, so we better make sure that we give her a little call. She's been around for a long time too. So we wish you all the best. And we're going to wish you all the best as well.
Absolutely.
And I hope we have a really nice weekend.
I hope you have a nice weekend too.
And I hope you do too, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to end it, but I know what happens. You end it like this.
Exactly. And then you go, bye until next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.